we are gonna do a little drive with me. We have about 51 minutes left until I get to my destination. I am shooting a courthouse wedding today, so I'm heading to Raleigh. So this should be super, super fun. I'm excited. I just kind of wanted to yap for a little bit because I'm in the car for a little bit longer. It's a 2-hour drive from where I'm at, so I've been in the car for an hour and some change already. I just kind of wanted to yap because I feel like I do a lot of random vlogs here and there, and then I just like don't talk about what has been going on in my life, and I don't really get to yap anymore. So I just kind of want to yap and give you guys a little insight of what's going on, what's been going on, how things are going, and you guys can just have a little peek into my life. And maybe if anybody's dealing with any of the same feelings or going through any of the same things, we can just comment back and forth talking to each other. So let's just get right into what's been going on. So 2025 was probably the absolute craziest year, I think, so far. I don't think I've been able to breathe for the last 4 years or so, even longer, probably about like 5 years now, 6 years. I don't think I've been able to fully take a moment to breathe and just enjoy life. Like, I feel like there's been a span of time where everything was okay, like I was vibing, like just experiencing a bunch of different things, and every single time I get comfortable, it just seems like a bunch of different things just blow up and go out of proportions, really. So I think that last year was a very, very hard, struggling year for me, and maybe I've learned some lessons, maybe I haven't, but I just don't ever want to experience what I experienced last year again. I'm trying so hard to just like accept that life is what it is, and things aren't always going to be the way that they are at any given moment, and things change all the time. Living situations change, relationships change, like life just changes. And I don't like that, and I'm having a very hard time accepting that in a lot of different ways, just because I feel very isolated and alone most of the time, and it's just not a fun feeling. So it's so easy to sit back and just think like, well, here's all these things that happened, like why did it all have to play out like that? Like, why is this the way that was a dead dog. Anyways, why is this the way that things had to play out? So I don't know how many people like are actually going to watch this video or know my situation at hand, but I got married in 2021, and that was like the beginning of the year. No, I lied, 2020. I got married in 2020, and I had my first son at the end of 2021, and that was a whole experience. I don't even need to get into the details about that experience, but that was a whole experience. We ended up divorcing in 2023. I'm pretty positive. Yeah. Anyways, that was a whole thing because, you know, I got to a point where I was finally accepting that, like, I did deserve the things that I was getting in life. And for the majority of my life, I was telling myself, like, you're never going to get married, you're not going to have kids, you're not going to have a family. Like, point blank, you aren't going to have these things. And whether it had to do with the current situations that I was in or just things that have been said to me over the years, I just didn't think that I was ever going to find a person that was even remotely interested in marrying me, having a family with me, moving forward with me, okay? So, well, dang, I don't know if y'all heard that, but shit. Anyways, that's what I was telling myself. So when I did get married, it was like, wow, like maybe I can actually have this. This is fantastic. So we got married and we were on the same page about kids, whatever. And then after we got married, he was like, no, I don't want kids anymore. Well, I wanted kids. Like, that's just something that I've always wanted. And then we decided to like go our separate ways, you know, after my son and whatever. There was a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of cheating on his end. It just wasn't something that I wanted to stay in, even though I finally like got to that point in my life where I was like content like with where things were going, and it just kind of got uprooted and it caused so many problems for me, and I just am not appreciative over that situation. And I have to co-parent kindly and be civil just for the sake of our son, but I don't appreciate the situation that happened. I will never appreciate the situation that happened, and there will always be a part of me that holds a lot of hatred for that situation and the person involved in that situation, and that just is what it is. But that's what happens. So obviously, like, I was living in a house. Y'all have seen the house in the vlogs. It was everything I ever wanted. It was a dream, really. And I had to leave there, and it was so sad. Like, it still hurts me to this day. Like, I will pass through like the area that I used to live in, going to different places from where I am now, and it just like hurts my heart so bad because I never wanted to leave there, and it was just that was my dream right there. Like, that is exactly what I wanted, and it was in a great area, great neighborhood to raise kids in, and there was just a lot to do around, and I absolutely loved that, and I miss that house every single day. I know a house is a house. It's a materialistic thing. Like, eventually I can get another house. It is what it is, but that was just like, that felt like home for me. Like, I picked that house out myself. We got that house, and I was so happy with it, and I loved it, and I never wanted to leave it, but like, situations happen, and some things are just out of my control. So yeah, that's just a sad thing. So that like uprooted my entire life, and I moved, and it was just a whole process. And then last year my life got uprooted again, and I had to like figure out a bunch of things. I had to move again, and it was just the worst situation I probably could have ever be put back into. I never wanted to be in a situation like that, and of course I put myself right in the dang middle of it again, and that was horrible. And moving again and not even knowing if at that point, like, going forward, I'd be able to afford to like stay there and live there was like the most mentally draining situation. I didn't want to be there. Like, I wasn't happy there. It felt very, very, very isolating where I was, and I was very unhappy. It was not a good time. I really think that over the span of me moving into my apartment, over the couple months that I was there, like, I was the lowest I have ever been. Lower than when I got cheated on. I had to get divorced. Like, it was a low point for me. And to make matters worse, like, going forward, like, my mom was getting sicker. Everything was just kind of collapsing, one thing after the other. And I stopped talking to a bunch of friends that I didn't think I would ever stop talking to, which was another gut punch. So it was just like one thing after the other, and I got into a really awful hole. I didn't leave the house. I didn't do anything. All I did was work and go home. It was literally the most miserable existence of my life. And I didn't have any family nearby. I didn't have any friends nearby. It was just debilitating beyond belief. And then, you know, obviously a couple months down the line, I found out I was pregnant, and that was another situation where I was just like, oh my God, like, you really did it this time, girl. You really did it this time. So between every other thing piling on top, and then finding that out and realizing, like, this is like not the situation I was ever planning on being in, because, you know, I'm not married anymore. We weren't together at the time, so it was just kind of like, you really done screwed yourself over on that one, Sheila. Way to go. Like, when I say I was at my lowest point at that point, it was like I was at my lowest, and then if you could just like knock it down a couple notches, like that's where I was after that. Horrible feelings, okay? And shortly after that is when I lost like the last little bit of friendships that I had out this way, not in my area, but like close enough that I was like seeing them in an okay amount of times, and we would talk all the time. So it was just like one of those things. I don't think that I could stress enough that there was no pulling me out of the hole that I was in. Like, absolutely none. And then about a month later, after I found out I was pregnant, my mom passed away. So I don't know if anybody can ever truly understand the phases of grief that you go through, like when you lose somebody. But I am still navigating like the absolute destructive, debilitating feelings that something like that brings to you. I don't even know what to say, because going forward, like, it really feels like that was like the end point for me. Like, I don't have anything to say about anything after that. Like, I am just going through the motions. I don't have somebody to call every day. I don't have somebody to give me advice about life anymore. I don't have my mother. Like, I couldn't even imagine like leaving my children without me. Like, because the way that it feels to like lose a parent is like so different from losing anybody else. I can 100% say that I don't even know how to properly like formulate the words that can describe like what this experience has been. And I don't talk about it, and I don't let anybody else know, because nobody else will ever understand if they haven't been put in this exact situation. And every single person around me, for the most part, besides a few different people, have never been in this situation specifically. So it's really, really hard when you don't know how to formulate the words, but you also don't have anybody around you that can actually like feel those feelings that you are currently going through. So I just think that overall, I mean, I feel like I've pulled myself a little bit out of the hole that I was in, but I am still deep. And like, postpartum was okay. I mean, adjusting to a new baby was fine this time, but then I think about everything else and I'm like, ugh, like, ew. Like, I don't even know what else to say. I'm kind of in a very, very iffy place at this very moment. So I'm trying to pull myself out, and I'm trying to do more things that I love. I want to get out more. I don't want to be stuck. But the thing is I am stuck. And it's hard because my life right now consists of just like working every free moment that I can. Go to work, make money, and that is what I've been doing for months. And it still is not enough. And then I go back to nursing school for my senior year next month. Next month. And, you know, I think about it and it's just like, can I even handle like the weight of all of this stuff going on? And then I realized, like, you are handling the weight of everything going on, but I haven't had a moment to breathe or feel anything at all. I haven't had a real moment to really take care of myself. I just feel like my day-to-day is just making sure everybody else is good, and then if I get to take care of myself, good. If I don't, whatever. And for the most part, I don't. And I hate that. Like, I hate that so much. And I want to go visit home, and I want to go visit my friends that are in different places. I want to go visit the family that I still speak to, but there isn't any way to do it that's like logical for me. So it just feels very heavy, and everything feels very out of my hands, and I don't like that. And I hate that, actually. I hate that feeling. I hate living it. I hate having to go through it. But there is very minimal things that I can do right now to fix it, and I just wish that there was more to do. So moving forward, yeah, I'm going to try to vlog and post more and do those things that I like, because I do like content creation. I do like posting videos. I do like yapping, because sometimes I don't get to yap, or my yapping becomes redundant to the people closest to me and I feel like I'm just being annoying. But I don't have my mom to yap to anymore. I can't just call her and talk about the same shit over and over again until I get over it or figure it out. Like, I don't have anybody to just keep yapping to, and I feel like I annoy all the people that are around me when I yap about things that are consistently going on, and I don't know. So maybe y'all will hear me yap, and maybe I won't talk your ear off about the same thing over and over again, but y'all are probably going to hear me yapping a lot. Moral of the story, that's what's been going on in my life, and that's how I've been feeling. So we're turning to creating again, and hopefully this can bring me some of the joy that it used to bring. I got a new vlogging camera, which I'm super excited about, and we're just gonna move forward and see what we can do about it. And if it doesn't end up feeling any better, then it's all good. We'll work it out in our brains at some point, and yeah, sounds like a plan. But I am about 30 minutes away from where I'm going, and I'm gonna see if I can find someplace quick to grab a little bite to eat before I get there. So we're just gonna keep driving along. Thanks for listening to me yap. Hopefully I'll see you guys in a video soon. Love you. Goodbye.